Okay, we are live. And we'll get started here in a moment.
You will be getting a chip for your cell phone. That's not in yet. These you received. So I'll just need you to initial here and here. The top three.
Hey, everybody.
And swing it all up.
Perfect. Welcome. We reach right around you, Kathy.
Okay. Everything in there for you.
That's when that's on.
Yeah, I'll just take it as a plastic. Okay.
There you go.
Your laser. Okay, so everything that you need for today. There's a table in there, so if you have any questions. Easy, I put it there for you. It's in here. Okay, so you should have everything. Any questions, you know to call, okay?
That's basically what's going on the TV.
I know it's a lot.
The network just went away.
Good. You're very well.
So it's up in the country, so I don't know if it's They basically said something about the signal.
There we go. Now we're halfway there. All right.
Have a nice evening, Gil.
Thank you.
See you soon. Got it, go ahead. Right.
Yeah, I don't know if this is being paid for through the VA or what about you?
All right. Who's a little bit excited on a beautiful Tuesday afternoon?
Always exciting on Tuesday.
Okay. Can you see okay there? Because you're welcome to slide on over and get a little better view of what's happening. You're going to want to see the demo here in a little while, so don't be afraid to move around. Okay. Give me 1 second to get this piece set up. Thank you. All right. So, raise your hand if you're here to learn how to reverse neuropathy. Okay, not you.
What's that?
You're here for something else. Reversing neuropathy. So my tight voice and your hard of hearing, and we gotta bear, don't we? Okay. Quickly about that. Robert Kennedy Jr. Love him or hate him, we have the same vocal challenge. So if you need to repeat something, let me know. I'm not afraid of that at all. I want to make sure you get the information you're here for. Is that fair?
Yep.
Okay. So looks like I accidentally turned that one on too, Leslie. If you want to just kill that TV. So I'm not distracted over here when I'm talking to you guys. Okay, so yeah. Before I was in pain, 2 treatments down, I had some balance. Most of the pain on my right side is gone, and my left side is improving. These are some of the miracles we get to play with regularly. So I want to give you guys some hope today. Is that all right? Yeah, all right. So let's get going. A little bit about my family. I have my amazing wife, Emily. We have 6 kiddos, and we're busy, right? So that's what keeps me busy when I'm not here with you guys. My goal today is that I want to show you natural ways to actually reverse neuropathy. Okay, when we get 50 to 100% improvement, even when other systems or other treatments have failed. Okay, who's thinking, yeah, right? Be honest. Little skeptical. Yeah, good. One head nod, everybody else is like perfect. That's why we're here. Yeah, good. So let's show you what that looks like. Step one, though, is what even is peripheral neuropathy? Not everybody has that understanding yet. So the brain is central. The spinal cord is central, which means everything else is what? Peripheral. So it's kind of that generic. It can be anywhere that's not your brain or spine. But I think you're all smart enough people to know if you have peripheral neuropathy, there's also a central component. Does that make sense? You can't have a nerve goofed up over here and it doesn't affect some other part of the brain or spine, right? But definition-wise, it is in the peripheral, which is outside of brain and spine, okay? It's damage to the nerves. 20 million people in the U.S. are dealing with this. It's a lot of people. How do you get it? Is it contagious?
No.
Can you catch it?
No.
Thankfully, no, right? That's 1 in every person over age 45. I'm sorry, that's 1 in 6 over age 45 is dealing with this, right? It's a big deal. So, what are the traditional treatment options they've given you? Drugs. Yeah.
Gabapentin.
Gabapentin. Yes. Gabapentin.
Gabapentin.
Yeah. The zombie drug, I hear.
Yes.
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 Mm-hmm. That specific word is used so often on gabapentin. I hear that literally every day.
Too
Rather
much.
be in pain than happy.
Right. Yeah.
Too much.
So gabapentin, other ones, other cousins in those are Neurontin, Lyrica, Cymbalta. They're all similar flavors, you know. And so yeah, medication. What else? Anything else they've given you or other options they've shown you?
Miracles still happen too.
Miracles still happen, but that's not standard of care. Unfortunately, yeah, but
The insurance don't cover
insurance doesn't cover.
that. The miracles.
No, right? Yeah.
It doesn't say it doesn't say, removal of my feet or anything like that, huh?
No, but actually that is where this goes for some people. Yeah. So when the gabapentin doesn't work anymore and the tissue is too dead, it can go to amputation. And believe it or not, insurance covers that.
Yeah, isn't that nice?
Yeah, they'll cover, and that's what they cover. Right? That's standard of care. Medication, wheelchairs, walkers, all that stuff, and then eventual amputation is the track, right? In other words, they're managing your symptoms. Maybe. Let's try. There we go. Yeah, prescription drugs, symptom management. Who's tired of symptom management? Right? Like, come on. There's got to be a better way. We're in 2025 already.
Yeah, I say that all the time.
Yeah.
Now, she's the one with the issues more so,
Sure.
and I'm with her.
You're
I
supporting.
know what's going on, and it drives you insane. It's like, what?
Yeah.
Are we still in the cave?
Right.
Yeah.
Yeah. So we're out of the cave.
Like,
All right. We're going to show you out of the cave here in a minute. All right.
Follow the money.
Yeah. Well, yeah. That's all get me started, Ron. That's a whole other thing. But yeah. So, I mean, okay, let's talk about that for a second. Ron opened up that can. Follow money, he says. What does it cost to remove a toe? Let me back it up a second. If I paid you $100,000 cash right now, would you let me take your foot?
No.
No.
But you're going to pay them, or the insurance is going to pay them, $5,000 for one toe.
Oh.
All right, that's not what I'm going to say on that. I'm not a doomsayer, but this is where it can go. And you need to know if you're type 2 diabetic, this is worst case scenario. You're in a higher risk category for that. So it just makes sense? That's where this can end up. I've seen too many. I want to see more. Bottom line is you lose quality of life, right? You can't do steps anymore. You can't enjoy a beautiful day like this and go work out in the garden, and like all those things suck. All right? That's, you got to be blunt with it. You've experienced something like that. The things that were fun aren't fun anymore, and just basic things are a chore. Sleep. right? Like, are these common?
Yeah.
Like,
Yeah.
okay,
Yeah.
all right,
Yeah.
making sure
Yeah.
we're all awake here.
Yeah.
Yeah. So what's the better way, right? What's out of the cave? I want to show you that, but I want to tell you why is it even like why in the world would I even put on a workshop like this, right? So I never wanted to be a neuropathy expert. I was like, never went to school and signed up and said, hey, that's what I want to do. Anybody else learn the hard way? It's hard knocks, right? Yeah, so that's been my story. You okay if I share that with you?
Please.
So my dad fought 2 tours in Vietnam. And part of that was Agent Orange exposure, which is a nerve poison, right? No nerve poison. And he jumped out of a perfectly good airplane. He was an airborne. So he had back problems with it too, right? So a lot of things compounding. But, so shorter story, he was starting to lose his balance, but he's a tough guy, right? Like he's not going to tell you how bad it is. He's been through some stuff and, right, lived to tell about it. So, he didn't want to let us know how bad things were really getting. And this is before I knew anything of what I now know in science to look for things like that. So fast forward, our neighbor is having a litter of puppies. And he's got a 2-story garage, you know, with a staircase and all this kind of thing. And he had a kennel up in the upper level. And so we went up to get the kennel, help out the neighbor. And as he's coming down the stairs, he lost his balance. And he fell. And he broke his neck.
Oh.
And he was on the steps for an hour before we knew because we thought he was helping the neighbor. And he said, my mom called and said, hey, your dad fell. She was in shock. It didn't translate on the phone. He said, we're going to the hospital. Dad fell. Okay. And you know that part of you that knows, like, something's up. I better check into that. So I hung up the phone. I was like, I'm going down to the hospital, see what's going on. So I drive down to Lancaster. And I'll never forget when I walked in, they're like, here's the images, right? Here's the pictures. These are the ones you see in school you never want to see in anybody, let alone your own family members. And they're like, we got an interaction. We're doing the best we can. But he's probably going to need a C5 quad, which means he could raise his elbows a bit and do a little bit of this, had a hard time feeding himself, and he was in a chair for the rest of his life. So when I say we lived through this, like I haven't experienced the fall and the numbness and the pain and this, like all that, but I've seen what it does to a family. I understand the financial ramifications. I understand the social ramifications, the emotional, all of those elements we've literally lived through. So that's what really drove me to figure this out. I'm like, if I can help one person not live through that, it's worth everything I just spent invested in time away from my family and education and all of that. Does that make sense? So if we ever seem pushy, which I like to think we're not, we're kind of friendly, but if we ever seem that way, it's because we know we're not in the cave anymore, right? There's another way to do this, and we've really cracked the code. No, we can't help everybody.
It's sort of like, it was pseudoscience at one time. Drugs were the answer to everything. And I always thought the pseudoscience seemed like it made more sense than any of it.
Yeah, let me show you why it's not pseudoscience. I'm going to get you into the real foundation of science that's going to help you make sense out of all of this. Does that sound good?
Yep.
Yes.
I don't want to lecture too deep into get too nerdy on you, but hang in there with me. So, yeah, there's my dad, those are my kiddos and my cousins, or my nephews, and an image of what his neck was like there. So, yeah, big deal. And back then, right, it was like 50 grand to just put a basic, it was 10 years ago, more than that, like 10, 11 years ago. That was like 50 grand to put a basic one level, like a master bath and bedroom without anything fancy. It just, right? It's probably triple that now. I can't imagine. Anyways, I've been doing neuropathy specifically, it's close to 8 years now. Now I get invited to speak in different scenarios and actually teach the protocols we help develop and consult with other doctors. That's a little bit of my background with this kind of work. And then we get to see stories like Jay. When he came in, he was literally riding backwards in the seat of the car. He could not sit regular like you are. His wife was driving him in, and he thought he had plantar fasciitis, which I got to giggle at. It was like, it's a little more than that if you can't sit in a seat. Anyway, got his job back, got his life back. Like, returned. But I like this. Judy would say, we were miserable. So it's the caretaker, right? The caretakers are a part of this puzzle too, right? It's not just the person that is suffering with the problem. It's everybody that's supporting them. They love to do it, but it's costly, right? So anyway, Jay got a whole lot better. Rick, if you want his phone number, let me know. He said I can give that to anybody that wants it, and he's happy to talk to you about anything you need to know. He had a son with severe special needs, and he needed to be the dad to be able to help take care of his family. And so I called him up a couple of years ago, about 2 summers ago now, and somebody wanted his phone number. And I said, hey, Rick, can I give the phone number just to honor that relationship, And he's like, Doc, I'm in Alaska on a glacier. Can I call you when I'm back in town? I'm like, why are you picking up the phone when you're on vacation? But he got to travel again and, all these things. And just to give you guys some hope that there can be life after this stuff. So he's doing a lot better, sleeping better. Sandy, she was in bad shape, couldn't walk when she came in. A lot of pain in her legs. Right leg's pain-free, left one's getting better. Treatment's helping. It's worth every penny. These are Sandy's words. So just a couple of stories to give you guys some encouragement. Oh, I might need some more though. Thanks, Lynn.
How much did he pay her to say that?
Right? Good question. 0. She volunteered it. Yep. So today I want to show you the root cause. Okay, what causes neuropathy? You guys ready to learn that part? And I want to show you our 4-pronged approach. Like, how are we winning? How are we not in the cave anymore? Like Ron said. Ken, my vision's now starting to fade. I'm going to need some readers in a little bit. And then hopefully I get a little bit of hope already, and then show you what next steps could look like. Okay, so that's our plan for today. All right. So everybody, hand up like this for me. This is your nerve cell. All right. So Bill, put your hand up like that. There you go. Yeah. Thanks for playing, Bill. So that's your nerve cell, and then these are the blood vessels that feed your nerve cell. All right, now if you squeeze your hand as tight as you can for about 10 minutes, what are you going to feel? How's that hand going to feel?
Numb.
Yeah, numb. What else?
Tingly.
Maybe tingly. Sure. What else might you feel?
Can't open it up very
It
easy.
gets stiff, sure, yes. Or to open. Maybe,
Weakness.
weakness can develop, sure. Yeah. Pain. That kind of sounds like neuropathy symptoms, doesn't it? Yeah, you can rest your hand if you haven't yet, but when you start to choke off the blood supply, and when you start to suffocate the nerve, you're going to get neuropathy symptoms. Does that make sense?
Yep.
So the better question is, what causes this? And the answer is there's literally in the research over 100 different causes for this. Okay? Now the great news is we don't need to treat every single cause. We just need to treat the cause of this. If we can restore blood flow and oxygen and nutrients back to the tissue and energy for it to heal, guess what happens?
It gets better.
It gets better. Exactly. Can medication do that?
No.
No, it's not designed to do that. It's designed to block the feeling in the brain from the sensation in your feet.
Yeah.
Okay, that's all it's designed for. And thank God there's some use for that, right? It's not like it's useless, but it can't fix the problem. So that's what causes it. So we just talked about that. The symptoms would be, if the leaves are brown, you got burning, tingling, numbness, weakness, everything you guys just mentioned. Underlying that is the root causes. Gut health is a big deal. If your immune system is around your gut, more than half of it, right, that can cause problems. Inflammation is a big, big deal. Macronutrients, that's things like fats, carbohydrates, and proteins. Typically in this country, we eat too much what? The carbohydrates in this particular category, absolutely right. Carbohydrates turn into sugar, Sugar damages nerves, spikes insulin, and you get this whole physiological cascade that goes with it. Micronutrients, that's your magnesium, zinc, vitamin B's, your lipoic acid, all the micronutrients that actually make the nerve do its job and heal and function. Okay? And then we get oxygen deprivation, which if you're not feeling good, you're not going to want to get up and run around. Right? So then it becomes a cyclical thing. And other people might have underlying lung conditions. We see more of this with COVID and lung stuff, right? So sedentary lifestyle and underlying neurological weaknesses or genetic predispositions. So all of these kind of things are the underlying, but I'll show you what links all of that together. You ready? Like this is what really causes all this stuff. So everybody's trying to get your physiology to work right. That's your numbness symptom, your tingling, whatever you're experiencing. That's controlled by your biology, right? That's this body we live in. Male, female, all the different genetics that you carry, just your makeup. That's controlled by your chemistry and your biochemistry. So those chemical reactions actually make this stuff work, right? And that's been the mantra of medicine for, a century. Better life through better chemistry, pharmacology, or whatever. Change your diet, change supplements, change whatever in the chemistry. And none of this is wrong. It's just incomplete. What we now know, and the science bears out unequivocally, is that the physics runs everything. Now, don't let that scare you. It's not taking you back to like scary high school classes. This is very simply a gorgeous day like this. Sunlight is physics. When sunlight hits your skin, it turns into vitamin what? Vitamin D. Like this is sort of common knowledge now, right? So light actually impacts our body in a healthy way. Too much of it, you get burned, right? Same thing though, with the time change we just went through. If you're exposed to sunlight, it helps you regulate your sleep cycle better. It's not quite so groggy when you're getting up in the mornings. Does that make sense? So everybody understands physics of sunlight. You feel better when you go to the beach. Unless you hate the beach. But, right, you're in the sunshine, you're in the earth, the waves are crashing, you're getting all this energy from the way God made it. And I'll show you why that's important in a minute. But that's what I mean by physics. Light energy, electrons, and the other one would be electromagnetic fields. So, again, back to the beach analogy, you're getting magnetic field from the earth. When the moon's there, the tides change, right? So all of those, are you with me? So those are the basics of the physics that this world's created with that actually makes the chemistry run in the body.
Well, it's just like if we could get all the nutrients and vitamins that you need every single day, my God, you'd be so much healthier.
And Ken, that's a great point, but that's everything you mentioned is chemistry.
Yeah. Yep.
Okay, now that's food, that's nutrients, that's not wrong, but it's incomplete. You can have the best raw materials in the world. If you have no workforce to put together the stuff, you make no product. Does that make sense? So how are you going to make a new healthy cell? You need raw materials, you need good quality ingredients, but then what? You need energy to put it together. Does that make sense?
Yeah.
So the energy is why we win where other systems have failed, because they're not dealing on that basic layer. Who'd I lose? Good. Let me explain a little bit more on this. Here's how your body makes energy. You spend one oxygen dollar, and you get 34 energy dollars back. Who likes that trade? All day long, right? That's ideal. So when your body's making new cells, like if the body's a business, and its product is to make a new healthy cell, right? You burn oxygen, you breathe, and it goes through the electron transport chain, not the gabapentin transport chain, not the medication, not the best side on the planet. Not that those don't help or hurt, but it's the electron transport. It literally moves electrons, and that movement of the electron manufactures an energy molecule called ATP. There's no test on that, but the bottom line to understand is oxygen, when you burn one of those, you get 34. That's ideal. When you're unable to do that, there are 6 blockages that make that happen. And that's basically all of that stuff we talked about, the gut health, the macronutrients, all those elements we just covered. If those blockages are in place, now you're running 2 to 1. You burn sugar and you get 2 energy. It's a good backup system, but it's still way pales in comparison to 34, doesn't it? Are you tracking with me?
Yeah.
So this is called energy debt. Okay? So if your body's running over here, how many cells do you now need to make up what you used to make from 1?
16.
Yeah, 16 or 17 new cells running at 2 to get you 34 that 1 used to do. Tuck that in the back of your head for a second. It's going to get more fun. Is it okay if I completely shake up your paradigm of health today? Is that all right? Hang in there with me. So now we got this energy debt, energy crisis going on. If your battery's running at 100% and your cells are literal batteries, the cells in your body have a charge to them. Okay? If you're running at 80 to 100%, you can fix whatever you need to. When you start dropping below that, there's blockages, there's drains on the battery, there's stress in life, there's toxins in your environment. You had the whatever bad food, all those things, right? Drain the battery. Now you're making new cells, but you can't do quality control on everybody. So you let mutations slip in. And then you start having some mutations, some faulty cells in there. Okay, that's step 1. Step 2 then is you have to actually make more cells. You said you need 16 to make up the difference, right? So now that's called organ enlargement. First step in failing health is organ getting bigger. When it's the liver, we call it hepatomegaly or fatty liver disease. If it's the spleen, it's splenomegaly. If it's the heart, it's cardiomegaly. Like there's medical terms for this stuff. Thyroid enlargement, you've heard of these things possibly. So the cells get bigger to actually make more energy for the body. Okay? And then, think about this. You've hired all these new workers. They're not as efficient as you want them to be. And now they're costing you more money than they actually are making you. Right? Is that they're actually, it's just, man, we thought this was going to help, but now we're really struggling here. So then it's called autoimmune disease. And you start killing off the cells. You start attacking the cells that you tried to make energy with.
Yeah.
So then starting to bring,
She
right?
does that too.
So raise your hand if you notice with autoimmune.
Yeah.
Right? You're down the battery, and the system is down in that level. And then when that system can't work anymore, there's more drains on the battery. I'm literally talking the charge in your body. There's a cellular energy in the cell that's a battery. When that drops below, you can start to develop cancer. Or we say you're cancering. Cancer is a verb. It's not something you catch. You're neuropathy-ing. You didn't, how did you develop it? The battery drained in the nerves, right? For various reasons. This one question completely changed how I think about this. Who do you know, have you ever heard of someone developing heart cancer? Why not? Ideas. What do you think?
Well, the heart is the strongest muscle, right? So it's going to work the hardest.
It's always working, right? Never gets a day off, thankfully. Yeah. So your heart uses more energy than anything else in your body. Always working, constantly pumping, constantly energizing your blood.
So we need more hearts.
You need more hearts. Yeah, but I think that's why it's certainly don't lose heart, right? We talk about heartbroken, all these words in our world that are talking about draining the battery out, like literally draining the life out of you, right? So with that in mind, if your heart battery dropped below this level, what do you think is going to happen?
Heart attack.
Yeah, you're probably going to die of a heart event before you can even develop cancer in that tissue. Does that make sense? Is this giving you more answers and the questions you left your last doctor's office with?
Oh, yeah, definitely.
This is why it develops. This is why this happens. When the battery drains too much, you literally can't repair fast enough, and the nerve is now screaming at you.
Well, when you know the reason why something's happening, it's a lot easier to try and fix.
Exactly. So with that in mind, that's where we're going. That's why the therapies we use work on this basis, and we can apply the physics, the chemistry, right? The biochemistry, the biology. We can affect every one of those elements with the therapies we're using. Okay? So here's what happens when you do that. One of the things we do is a thermal scan of the feet. So the only two colors that are normal in my office are red and white. What do you see in the feet?
Green.
Right, which means they're cooler colors. That's not good blood flow. Okay, that was June of 23. July 18th of the same year. What are you seeing now?
Much better flow.
Right, improving with that. So we're actually restoring energy to the body so we can regrow blood vessels. That's pretty cool. And we see blood flow restore, and then what's going to happen? Starts reversing. Okay? So, I'm going to set this up a little bit for you here. Betty was one of my first patients in practice, and one of my first neuropathy patients then. So this is about 20 years ago now. She came with a back problem. I was like, I'm a chiropractor, but we got better pretty quick. That's what we do. So that worked easy. And then she said, Doc, I've got some neuropathy going on. Can you help me with that? I said, Betty, I have no idea. Let's try something. So she's open to that. We put together a plan for her and started on that plan. And then guess what happened?
She got better.
No, she got nowhere, actually. Okay, we failed miserably. Nothing got better. So then what do?
Try again.
You try again. We changed the plan, made some switches, tried a new plan, and guess what happened then?
It worked.
I wish, Tari, failed strike two. Okay, and then we found the program we're now doing, and that's the results we're getting, and you're going to hear her story. So this is, like I said, we've been through the ringer on this, trying to figure it out.
Try again.
And you're going to hear her mention numbers. So the nerve, when it's lost 85% of its sensory function, in other words, you can't feel 85% of what's in your environment. That's typically the point of no return. That nerve is going to be too far gone to get back full function. Does that make sense? It's like a plant that's withered, right? You can change the soil, the water, the light, all this stuff, and you just can't get the plant back if there's not enough energy back in that plant. So, you with me? So she can mention numbers, listen to that. The other thing I get is, this is my office in Lancaster. I was there for 15 years before we moved up this way. That's why the background is different. And no, it does not turn your hair white. The treatment does not turn your hair white. That's a follow-up. She went gracefully gray. The difference is 6 years between the two. So I want to show you the long-term results this can produce in the right scenarios, okay? So I'll let Betty share that with you.
Okay.
So I'm here with Betty, and she's only been in the neuropathy program now a little over about 2 months. And you started, and you were pretty high percentages from
Yes, if I'm correct, 88% lost.
88%,
Right, and 78.
Yeah, we weren't really sure, no, it's gonna help. So tell me, what were you experiencing when you first came in with the neuropathy symptoms?
Yeah, extremely restless at night, and my toes area especially hurt. It was an unusual. It was hard to define or describe the ache that's there. Sometimes it felt like my feet were freezing, and yet when I touched them, they weren't cold.
Right, that sensation of freezing.
Mhm.
Yeah. And then, what's been your experience since you knew to start the program?
Well, I don't experience the restlessness
March 25th
Or
is our
the
next,
pain.
March 25th is our next.
Yeah, and that's all of it, 2 months, and I have time to go yet, so I'm very delighted.
Yeah, I'm excited to see where this turns out for you, because I know when we looked at your last set of numbers, you're doing, I think only, well, it was less than 40%.
It's
Yeah,
31,
it's 31 on the one side and
31 on the other.
on the other. Oh, is he?
Yes.
See, you know better than I did. That's great.
That's
So that's a
okay.
huge change from, 80s.
It is.
That's wonderful.
I'm so grateful, but the thing that really blesses my heart is my older sister is numb from her knees down and now from her hands to her elbows. And I was hoping I could avoid that and really with God's help and your help and
Yeah, we're really thankful to be a part of that. And that we get to be a part of your story with that. Thanks so much for sharing that. Do I have your permission to share this with other people, other patients, other students, other doctors?
Sure.
Yeah. Any
Yes.
conditions on sharing that?
No, sir.
Okay.
No, sir.
Thanks so much, buddy. Okay. Does that make sense though? Like 80+% loss, borderline, we can't do more. 2 months, she's more than halfway better. No, she went into full resolution. She got all of her feeling back. She could play with her grandkids again. Cute little girls at that time, now they're. But yeah, like that's what we're here for, is to make those kind of changes possible. So I'll let her tell her follow up here, and it's gonna share the rest. Okay, so you Betty is what about a 6 or so year follow up. Yeah. So tell me what your symptoms are now for the neuropathy.
Well, it's good unless I eat sweets.
Okay.
And I have misery in my feet.
Gotcha.
Big time.
But otherwise, you don't really need your equipment right now, and you're not really using that as part of your care plan anymore.
Correct.
Just stay on the diet part.
Yes.
Beautiful.
Yes.
And that's fantastic long-term results so far, especially because your sister was in bad shape.
Yes.
And we avoided that. Thank God for that.
Yes.
Wonderful.
Yes. Thank you so
Thanks,
much.
Betty. Appreciate it.
For what you do as well.
Bless you. Thank you. So unfortunately, her sister was in a wheelchair because we couldn't, or she wasn't around the area where any colleagues around the country that are doing this work. And but we kept Betty from that, which is, I'm just humble every time I hear that story. So yeah, she mentioned sweets. She's non-diabetic, but she noticed when she started changing her diet, when she came off the sugar, it made a big difference. And she noticed when she had it again, it made her feet miserable. But yeah, that's like fabulous and not incredibly uncommon. Now, inflammation. Raise your hand if you've heard inflammation is a big deal. And it's like the cause of all this stuff. So, what triggers inflammation? We were talking about a lot of it. Stress can be a major player, right? Pathogens, we're number one in the world for Lyme disease in this area of the country, right? Pennsylvania is number one in the world for Lyme disease. There's a subspecies of Lyme, or in that tick-borne family, called Bartonella, and it's known to cause neuropathy symptoms. So infections can be a big deal. Processed foods, bad fats, sugar, junk food, right? Everybody knows that. Chemicals, medications, chemotherapy is another major player that is known to cause neuropathy. Heavy metals, dehydration, these are all things that will drain the battery. Does that make sense?
Mm-hmm. What do you mean I can't listen to heavy metal?
You know, I wish I didn't come back for that one, Stan, but yeah, go listen to as much metal as you want, buddy. Yeah.
Yeah, I have a question for you.
Sure.
Speaking of medications,
Is there an accident?
recently my doctor gave me stuff for cholesterol.
Sure, yeah, statins.
And ever since when I started taking that, my feet started hurting.
Yep. Glad to bring that up, Bill, because that's absolutely right. In the research, they even notice it causes muscle weakness, muscle pain, and neuropathy symptoms is a side effect of statins for some people. So just getting off that medication or changing medications can be a simple solution.
I stopped taking
Yeah. And so again, like, they're missing the point. Why is your body making too much cholesterol? Cholesterol is needed to repair every cell in your body. Cholesterol is the building block for all of your hormones. So maybe the body's trying to tell you something. Hey, we need more cholesterol because we're trying to heal and repair. But we don't have enough energy to make it transfer into actually the right stuff. Like, makes sense? Are there fewer heart attacks now because people are on statin drugs? The answer is no. It's just not. Right? Anyway, don't get me started on that. I got a lecture. I heard a lecture from the gentleman that actually developed Lipitor. He developed those statin drugs, and he said it was designed for a very small cohort of people with a genetic disorder, and that's what it was designed for, and it worked really well for them, and then just extrapolated that to the whole general public. And he's like, this should never be, mass used and produced and whatever. Anyway, whole other separate topic. I might be getting myself in trouble because I'm online. Anyway, whatever. Bottom line is this. When we start removing inflammation, massive things change. Isabel, wonderful French lady, she came in one day. She was type 2 diabetic, like literally severe numbness, just a wreck. Went through the program, and one day she's like, Doc, I'm giving you a bill. And I said, all right, Isabel, what for? She said, I've lost 70 pounds. I need an entire new wardrobe. Nothing fits anymore. And it's been a good chuckle over that. But literally, she's like, I'm on top of the world. Like, I'm doing better at 53 than I've done in my entire life. Literally, the type 2 diabetes went away. She got her whole life back. So when we start removing inflammation and the drivers of that and charging the batteries back up, look out. Okay? So number 3 then is showing you guys the actual tools and technology we use. So I'm going to have everybody just stand up. We're going to do a balance screening and see how your balance is doing. Bring some awareness to that. Get you up and move a little bit. Now, as we go through these, if any of them are feeling uncomfortable or like, I don't think I can do this, do not push it. I don't want to pick you up off the floor. Is that fair? Before we get started, too, look at your neighbor and say, I got your back. Okay. Yeah. I don't know. Yeah. I don't know.
My back.
Yeah. So these are not, they're not hard, but they may be challenging. But here's what I'm going to walk you through it, then we'll do it as a group. Okay. So number 1 is hands on the hips, and the feet will go as close together as you can, and then you're going to close your eyes. Don't do it yet. You're going to close your eyes for 10 seconds when I tell you to, and that's step 1. That should be a baseline. Everybody passes that one. That'll be our baseline. Okay. Step 2 then is going to be eyes open and one leg up. You stand on your strongest leg. 10 seconds, eyes open. If you pass that one, it's 10 seconds, eyes closed. Okay, so those are our 3 screenings. You with me? So let's do number 1 together, feet together. Yep, hands on the hips, and I'll count us in on 3. You're going to close your eyes. 3, 2, 1, close them. And that's probably about 10. You can open your eyes. I actually don't have a timer on me, so I have to have somebody time this. But how did everybody feel on that one? Nobody fell over. That's good. A little wobbly. Yeah, so actually, that brings up a good point. 10 would be totally, I could do this all day long, no problem. And 0 is I passed the test, but I felt pretty wobbly. Like, that brings a hesitation to my mind about, can I keep my balance? Right? So were you on a scale of 1 to 10? Who was 10 would be perfect balance, 0 is I'm going to fall over. Who was better than a 5 on that? So you're better than awesome. Then some of you guys not, so you're like, man, that felt pretty wobbly. Yeah, okay. Yeah. So this next one, see how you do with it. But again, it's hands on the hips, stand on your strongest leg. All right, and we'll do our best to count it in on 10 seconds on that one. All right, here we go. Hands on the hips.
Do you want a timer?
Oh, yeah, perfect. Kathy, thank you for solving that problem. I usually have my watch on, but I just showed up with energy. That's all.
Oh, hold on, I have questions about it. This
That's
one.
okay. May I?
Yes, please go ahead.
Yeah.
These are all my other timers.
God, do you need that 10-minute one?
No,
Okay, cool. Just making sure.
just delete it.
Get rid of that. We'll just go to
10
a
seconds.
stopwatch.
Oh, you will, okay. it's
We're just gonna
stopwatch.
stopwatch it.
Yeah, you'll
Okay.
stopwatch it.
Ready? Hands on the hips. 3, 2, 1. Stand there strongest. Let go.
With the eyes closed.
Eyes open. Yeah, open eyes. 3, 2, 1, and stop. Okay. Who had to put their foot down?
I did once, but I put it back.
Yeah. So even if the foot touches one time, it's a fail. That's just the rules of that game. Yeah, I know, right? So how many had to put the foot down? Okay, several of you guys were staying okay. 10 seconds, eyes open. Awesome. Good. Yeah. Ready for eyes closed? If you didn't pass the last one, let's wait on. Yeah. Okay. So eyes closed, and then I'll count us in 3, 2, 1, and then we'll go eyes closed. Ready? So eyes closed. 3, 2, 1. Lift the leg.
Oh, no, that's it. I
Yeah.
didn't do that.
It pretty much gets everybody.
Little
You're good making it. Okay. Awesome. Yeah, that pretty much gets most everybody if you're actually dealing with any type of significant neuropathy. Awesome. Thanks for playing. Now we're gonna pick somebody to actually treat and to improve the balance, right? So first of all, did that bring awareness? Was that better, worse, or same for what you thought it would be in terms of your balance? Who found their balance better than they expected it to be? Everybody was, right around was like, yeah, I thought it was about that.
Yeah.
Okay. Yeah. And then everybody else was like, I was a little worse than I thought I was.
Closing my eyes was
Closing out is, yeah, right. That gets rough. Okay, so let's do this. Any insights, Doc, on
Hello?
that's okay. We lost our time, we'll get it back in a minute. Let's ask this question. Who does not want treated today? Okay, everybody's like, pick me. All right, so who's had neuropathy symptoms for more than 5 years? More than 5? More than 5? More than 5? All right. Let's do a rock, paper, scissors. That's always fun. Come on up here. We'll do rock, paper, scissors. So here's how this, right? 1, 2, 3. You're gonna shoot on 3. All right. You ready, Stan? Yeah. You gonna play along? Yeah, but you're gonna shoot on 3. Hit problem with the wrist. Can you do the other one? Or you mean to play for Stan? I'll play for Stan. Yeah, we're playing rock, paper, scissors, guys. It's all right. Ready?
I'm sorry.
I'm playing for Stan. 1, 2, 3. Okay, so it's a tie between Ron and Stan. Thanks for playing paper beats rock. Okay. Ready? Here we go. 1, 2, 3. Okay. We're on like the same wavelength you're on. 1, 2, 3. Okay. 1, 2, 3. Oh! Stan, you're like perfect here. Let's do one more time. 1, 2, 3. Okay. Stands up. Stan the man. Come on up, Stan.
All right.
Thanks for playing, Ron.
You're welcome.
Oh, I'm sorry.
Come on up here, Stan. Would you like to get treated today, or should we pick Ron? Are you sure? You won fair and square. Okay, Ron, come on up then. All right. So I'll have you stand here facing the awesome crowd. Give a round of applause. I think we get clapped for like 3 times after graduation from high schools. We like to give a little bit more. We're gonna check some things for you, okay? We're gonna check range of motion. So that's working the shoulders because that's easier to demo here. And also it shows we might fix something more than balance. And then we're gonna check motor in the legs because you need strong muscles to actually balance properly. Is that fair? All right, so that's what we're looking for here.
Okay.
So looking straight ahead this way. Oh, and can you time one more time? I want to get an actual measurement on his balance timing, and if we can improve that at all, then that would be a win, right? Okay.
The stopwatch again, or
Yeah, stop watch works fine. And just count them in. Let's do the one leg because you failed on that one, right?
Okay. Yeah.
Yeah. So let's do that one. So when you're ready, tell them to go and just hit start, and time I'll be here to catch if we need it.
Ready?
Hands on the hips.
Yeah.
Okay, what do you got?
2 something.
2 something?
Yeah.
Okay, so 2 something.
2 like 80.
Yeah,
Something like
2.8-ish. Okay, so we can make that even a 3 or a 4, right? That'd be what? 50% improvement or something. You know what I mean? Like we can,
It'd be better. It'd be better.
it would be better, right? Better is better. Let's see what we get. You can rest there.
Okay.
With the shoulder relaxed completely. Nice and loose, stand neutral and even. Yeah, any pain when you stand like that?
No, it's
Okay.
just my left leg is weaker than my right.
Yeah, I've noticed that. But this one go loose here. And we see his range of motion is not horrible, but it should bonk him right in the ear. That would be normal. Let this go loose here. That one moves pretty easily. Yeah, so that one probably won't improve. Maybe the right one changes some, I don't know. It's a little stuck there. And yeah, just stand neutral again if you can. Yeah, where you see that shoulder higher than that one? Pull your arm into your waist, elbow locked. I'm gonna pull out, don't let me hold that in tight. Okay, so that one's weaker. Now, if the shoulder, that muscle I just checked is designed to hold the shoulder down. So if that's higher, we would expect it to be inhibited or turned off. Does that make sense? And actually, believe it or not, that muscle is a back stabilizer. So the other one, turn in here, pull that elbow to your side, hold it in tight. And that one, I can't budge it. That's
Wow.
you feel the difference there?
That, yeah.
It's totally normal. Like, pull that in tight again. You're like, there's nothing I can do to move that guy. This one here, let me get my fingers in though. Lock the elbow. Yep, pull that in tight. But that one just kind of fades right away.
Yeah, that's surprising.
Yeah. So let's see what we get on this one. On this seat here for me. Now we're going to check
What
leg
causes
strength. A lot of things could cause that. And let's see what else we get here. So we're stair climbers, right? Yeah, move if you need to see what's going on. Bring that leg up in the air for me. Hold that up strong. We're going to push down. Don't let me. That's all right. Let's try the other one here. Hold that one up. Yeah, that one's a little weaker. You notice the difference? Hold that for me.
Okay.
Yeah, that one's fading away.
Yeah.
So that's the front of the leg. Now we're going to check the back of the leg. Bring your toe up for me here. Yeah, pull the heel back before you go, Ron. You're going to do that motion. Pull, yeah, like that. Ankle up though. Thank you. That's a hamstring. Pull the heel back. Okay, and that one fades away.
Yeah.
And you said that was your weaker leg on this
Yeah.
side?
This part, because that part's atrophied.
Yeah, it is. Which would make sense then. Let's have you point your toe down. And we're doing the same thing. We're going to check that calf muscle here. Pull back. Yeah, toe down and pull back. There you go. Yeah, and so if you point your toe down as calf, toe up as hamstring. So just a little difference in that test. But yeah, both of those are turned off. And let's try one more on that leg for balance. So your ankle goes up and out like that. I'm going to push your foot down this way. Don't let me do it. Heel on the floor is fine. Yeah. And then hold that up in the air if you can. And there's like nothing there.
Yeah.
So he might have a bigger spinal issue going on. Let's try the other one. Toe up for me. Pull the heel back. Yeah, that one's decent. Same thing, toe down. Yep, pull that heel back. That's solid. And then ankle up and out that way. Heel on the floor. Yeah, bring the toes up more if you can. Yeah, but that one's super weak. So I don't know if we'll see what kind of change we make. We've never met before, right? This is just on the fly. So we'll see what we get. Let me take your socks and shoes off here. I'll give you a hand with that. Untie them.
Yeah.
Yep. There we go. Great. And then, yeah, take that one up as well. And then Dr. Jeff Midgley here is going to be doing the treatment, and I'm going to explain what's happening. So, thanks, Doc. Good to see you today. It's been a busy one.
All right, we're going to put this on the bottom of the foot here.
All right.
Oh, I'm sorry.
Yeah. So what's happening here is called a digital electrotherapeutic stimulator. Who's heard of a TENS unit before? Okay, good. This is not a TENS unit. TENS does not work with neuropathy. TENS sends one signal out to the tissue. It's about all it does. And it's 1950s tech. All right? This is the new stuff. This is out of the cave stuff. You know to use that one, Ken. This actually sends a signal to the nerve. The nerve reads, or the nerve responds. The machine then reads the new response and then changes the signal to rehab the nerve. So every 4 milliseconds, it's changing the feedback into the tissue, into the nerve. Okay? And so it looks similar, but the technology is totally different. So we have that rehabbing the nerves in the lower spine. Okay? Bottom line with that one is it does rehab nerve signaling. Who thinks that's a good idea? Right, good. So the other thing we have is his feet are on the vibration plate. We know that enhances balance. It also improves circulation. So you ever push a mower? You have to push a mower, wrong vibration, your hands get numb and tingly, right? That does this. The right vibration actually improves circulation and wakes the brain up in a healthy way. So you get that guy. Stay. So that's, and if there's a joint replacement, we'll use the seated version. If you are able to, we prefer standing because then you get more balance in the whole spine. That was, there's options in terms of the technology. Okay. And then number 3 is light therapy. Light therapy has been in the research for, goodness, easily 40 years. Guess how many side effects? 0. Okay, like
Bad side effects or good side effects?
yeah, right. So yeah, let's talk about the good side effects. Good side effects: energy production, range of motion, blood flow restoration, better vision. ED goes away. I mean, like all kinds of amazing things. Pain is relieved.
Say it relieves pain.
So what type of light is it though?
Great question. We got several that we're working with him right now. And so this particular one is LED and it's red. Again, this is 650 nanometer region if that's what you're, yeah, so that's that guy. But this one, you can get done in 1 minute what used to take 30 minutes. So the amount of energy we can put into the body in a short period of time is drastically better. Even 2 years ago, this wasn't really readily available. And so patients will be doing 30 minutes twice a day at home. Who likes 1 minute instead of 30, right? So big changes in that. Other ones are laser. And laser is, we've got 3 different colors in that one. And different colors do different things in the physiology. Bottom line though is they all make ATP. Remember that 34 that we want to make? The laser goes right into the body, bypasses all the other stuff, and starts making 34. Okay, so laser, LED are the 2 types of lights, and we've got purple, infrared, and red are the colors, and green is the other one. Okay, yep, great question. Bottom line, restoration of blood flow and pain relief. Okay, these are the 2 big benefits on that one. Why does it do that? Charges up the battery. That's why it does that. Physics. You with me? Remember that? Okay. Nutritional protocols that actually work. The ones we use in this office have been used in over 500 clinics around the country and getting the same results with patients just like you guys. So they work clinically, the science is there, the clinical application is there, and they're just plain work. You've probably seen things online that maybe work, maybe they don't. If they work for people, I don't see them in here because they got better, right? So that was the one thing that they needed. But typically, you need 4 legs to make a strong chair. We're using 4 different legs to make his win, okay? So that's that one. Here's why we failed with Betty. We were only doing in-office therapies. We weren't doing things at home. She wasn't getting the care regularly enough that she needed to reverse nerve damage that bad. Does that make sense? So even though we were seeing her 2-3 times a week in the office, it wasn't enough to actually get the job done. She needed the day in and day out care. Okay. That being said, traction, that's what Leslie's on back here, that'll literally take tension off the disc in the back. So if there's a compressed nerve in your back, that could be one of the issues that's driving the weakness in the legs and causing balance problems and nerve problems. Does that make sense? So we can literally take pressure off of that thing and start to restore function. The other thing here is pulse electromagnetic field that Ron is sitting in that chair and what Sandy's in here. So that is literally charging the battery back up in the cell. Everything in our world is AC current, right? All the electrical stuff is AC current. The body runs on DC. So this puts DC back into the body and charges it up. Okay? You may have heard of Tony Robbins before. Big international speaker, whatever, super tall guy. He sleeps on these before he does his presentations. And making special ones for him because he's such a big dude. All the like pro athletes, you know, this is all over the NFL, Major League Baseball, you name it. They use this stuff all the time. Right. And this is a big game changer. Soft wave therapy is in this background here. Looks like that. Like an ultrasound wand is what it looks like. It's actually sending a radio wave, which does a ton of healing. Activating stem cells. Who's heard of the stem cell injections or stem cell therapies, right? Big thing in the all over right now. This activates your own stem cells. 300% improvement in blood flow. Inflammation goes down. This is all over Paris in the Olympics. Yeah, I mean, Eagles, they've got at least 2-3 units in their locker room. I mean, you name it, this is all over professional sports and that kind of thing as well. The foot on the right, on the left here, this black, nasty-looking foot, right? Bad foot. I had a nurse in here the other night. She's like, "That's about to fall off." I'm like, "Yeah, not in good shape." How many treatments between the one on the left and the one on the right? Take a guess.
5?
30?
5? That'd be reasonable, right? It was 1.
Wow.
Yeah. That was 1. So this was not in my office. My buddy sent me the photo. He's like, "Doc, take a look at this thing." And I was like, "You have got to be kidding me." So 1 treatment got it from there to normal, healthy, pink-looking foot again. Now, we don't see feet that bad super often, which is good. But tell you what, we see them pink up all the time. Yeah, really, really good stuff. Now, this one's awesome. You're breathing anyway. I want to show you to do it in a way that's going to get you to do this. Okay, so let's breathe together. Do we have those bracelets? Do they make it in the baggie in there? Is there a little bracelet in there?
It should be.
Awesome, yeah. Perfect. This is a great time to put that on. This is your breathing reminder. If you're like me, you need a little reminder sometimes, right? Yeah. So this is your, and it's also a statement saying, you know what? I'm going to take something I learned today and make a change. Because guess what? Big Pharma's not coming to save you.
No, they are.
Right? So this is you saying, I'm going to make a change. I am here for me to do something different and apply, something I learned today. Okay. So here's how you breathe. And this will actually increase nitric oxide in a healthy way and dilate your blood vessels. Okay. It might be like a water bottle. It's usually where they
If not,
stuff.
I'll
If
get
it's
one.
not,
If it's not there.
we'll get one. You don't have money there? We'll get one for you. We need 3, it sounds like, Leslie. We're going to handful. So you're going to inhale for 4, hold it for 4, exhale for 6 with a hum. And the hum is where the magic happens. And you're going to hold it out for 2 and we'll repeat. Okay? So breathing in. Hold it. Good. In. Hold it. So another round. What do you notice?
Feel better.
Yeah, little is like. So the humming calms down your stress system, activates your healing nerve, called the vagus nerve, and starts to get you in a resting, healing, breathing, digesting mode. You heal a lot better when you're like that, right?
Maybe tired.
Yeah, right? Your body's like,
Relax,
like a
yeah.
relax.
Feel
Like,
better.
I just feel a little more, right? And so I had a lady come in. She learned the breathing technique. She's on her feet every day for her job. She's like, my dogs are barking. This is my grandmother used to say that too, but her feet were killing her. And she just did the breathing exercise between when she learned it and came in for examination. She's like, Doc, my feet are already feeling better just doing the breathing. So this literally can really make changes. But she did it 5 to 10 times every waking hour. Realizing most people can do it maybe 1 or twice, so I kind of overprescribed it, but she really took that to heart and made changes in her body because she was calming her nervous system regularly. We started the healing process for her. So just, use that. You can do it at a red light, right? You can do this anywhere throughout the day, okay? All right. Briefly, I mentioned Leroy. He got 50% better. He was a painter, diabetic, would not give up Turkey Hill sweet tea. Okay, so I mentioned that because he wouldn't give that up, and he still made headway. So you don't need to be perfect to make changes.
Well, you heard about the Indian that drank too much tea.
Uh-oh.
He drowned in his own teepee.
That would do it. That's a great dad joke. I'm gonna tuck that one away. And then Sherry, you see, this was about 2 weeks in. She could feel her toes for the first time in 5 to 6 years.
Oh, goodness. That's good.
Yeah. Elsie, her husband would drive her over an hour to get here for her appointment so we could work on her balance, and she got amazingly better. We don't see her anymore. She's living her life and having a great time. And better balance. I can feel my toes. I'm walking, doesn't feel weird, and I haven't felt my toes in 10 years. So these are people that are just like you, getting better in your chair not too long ago. Okay? So again, that's that encouragement. Like, you guys, this can happen. All right, let's see how we did. How we doing?
Yeah.
Yeah, Ron is already better. Ron, what are you noticing right now?
Well, I feel relaxed. I feel a little energized.
Relax and energized. Perfect. Yeah. Let's check some strength and see what we got.
Okay.
Okay.
Yeah.
So we had
Oh, okay.
that one was weak, wasn't it?
Mm-hmm.
The quad. So bring your knee up for me here. Let's recheck him again. Hold that up strong. That's different. Try this one here. And actually, those are both a whole lot sturdier. Bring your ankle up. Are you noticing that too?
Yeah.
And then pull that heel backwards for me. That's a lot better.
Mm-hmm.
Put your toe down. Let's try that again. Pull that one back. Wow.
I feel stronger too.
I don't think you realize, Ron, what a miracle that is right now.
Yeah, I was waiting for
Yeah, it does feel less.
With the atrophy you have in your calf,
Yeah.
that is impossible. That makes me want to cry.
And mentally, he feels good too.
Yeah,
That's just a plus.
right. More than a plus, right? Like, people pay billions just to feel a little better, right? Anyway, ankle up and out for me. Let's see if that's any different. Here, hold that one up and out. Okay, that one's going to need some work.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
It feels a little better though,
It does feel better.
because you could barely have to touch it.
It's true. You did have a little more resistance on that.
Mm-hmm.
That was awesome.
I'm a little lost because that was so cool. I don't think you understand how cool that
Your
is.
face,
Right.
your face got red.
You did it.
Yeah.
Ankle up for me there. Pull the heel back. Yeah. Toe down. Pull that one back. Wow. Try your ankle up and out that way for me. You want to move? Yeah, there you go. Pull that up for me if you can. Okay. Sturdier.
Yeah.
Definitely sturdier on that one. That's exciting.
Yeah.
And we didn't do everything. And he got, how many minutes was I rambling on? About 10 minutes?
How many pills did he take?
Yeah, how many pills did he take? How much diet did we change?
So how long does that last?
Great question. That depends on how depleted his battery is,
Right, okay.
right? And that varies for everybody. I've seen this last a week, between like this and when we got to examine them. And I've heard other people say it was the best night's sleep I've ever had, and then it was back the next day. So it depends on the person and what's going on and how bad their battery's drained. Yeah.
Well, my foot even moves better.
Your foot moves better.
Yeah, because it was I couldn't really hardly move it.
Wow.
Very. Now it's moving much better.
Yeah. That's awesome.
Thanks.
Yeah. Yeah, absolutely. Thank Dr. Jeff. He did all the hard work. Let's check balance.
Okay.
Why not?
Should I get my shoes back on? Cause
Yeah, we'll get apples to apples then, right?
Because otherwise,
Yep, that's fair. Can you start to see why we're winning though? Imagine doing that for 90 days in a row, coupled with an improved diet, reduced inflammation, the other technologies that actually get more traction in there too. Like, can you see why we're winning? Can you imagine that for yourself? Going like, hey, what if in 90 days by summer, I'm actually out playing again a little bit more?
You would be able to keep them off soccer field.
Exactly.
off my bike
Mm-hmm.
too.
That's good.
Yeah. Has anybody been able to show you changes like that before?
Yeah.
This is what we get to play with.
Yeah, not really.
That was fantastic.
And again, all we did was leverage physics. And that was just one form of it. We didn't even do electrons. We didn't even do, what's the other one? Electromagnetic fields. We didn't even use the other equipment. So we start pumping energy back in. The body says, thank you. Where's that been my whole life? And then we just have to keep working at it, get more energy, more energy. How was that getting out of the chair? Did you notice anything?
It felt better, yeah.
Easier getting out of the chair?
Yeah, my legs feel a little more sturdier.
They do?
Yeah.
Awesome.
Yeah, usually I'd be like a little bit like that, but
Yeah.
I usually had to step, kind of keep one leg over here and just kind of lean on this one.
Yeah.
Yeah.
That's different now.
It is.
Cool. Let's have it face this way. We'll check that range of motion and see. We got to let that relax completely. Let it go loose, loose, loose. Yeah, I'm just going to tell it to move in now. Look at that. It wasn't a hormone to begin with, but now it's just free and easy. Yeah. Pulling your side, hold that one in tight. You see, now there's just like that other side, right?
Yeah.
Yeah. That's pretty fun.
Yeah, that's right. You couldn't move it.
Yeah, this one faded right away, right? Hold that in tight again, just to make sure.
And you didn't pay me either.
I didn't pay him, Stan. Pull it tight here. Yeah, no, that's beautiful.
Yeah.
All right, you ready to check? Let's check his balance. Are you guys having fun? I'm not. This is like,
Yeah.
It's awesome.
this is pretty cool.
Before we're under 2 seconds.
Yeah, we were around 2.8.
Yeah.
Hands on the hips for me, and then tell them when to go, Kathy.
Ready?
Yep.
Set, go.
Wow.
More than 2 seconds.
More than 2 seconds. More than 2 seconds.
You were 10 seconds.
That was 10.
Or 10.
Wow.
That's a pass.
Fantastic.
Yeah, that's a pass. Like, guys, this is what we're doing.
So wait, you taking new patients or what? You're sold?
We are.
Good.
Yeah. Ron, thank you.
Okay.
Yeah.
All right.
Yeah, man. Thanks for being here today.
Yeah. You're welcome. Thank you.
Thanks for all your beautiful stories and knowledge. That happens all day long. So we're used to it by now. So, guys, you got two choices, right? It's like keep staying in the cave, or let's go and go prove a system that actually works. Here's what that could look like. And common question we get: how do I know if I qualify? Well, we did do our own assessments. Actually, to figure out deeper history. How did you get where you are? Right? Is there anything that would disqualify you from care? All the things, right? And then how long does that take? The exam is about an hour. And then healing times vary depending on the severity of damage. Okay, so that can be do nerves heal slowly or quickly?
It depends on the body.
Generally slowly. Like if they need to regrow, it's about 4 millimeters a month. So it's slow. And I might be wrong with those numbers, but it's not fast. Now Ron, we got him turned on pretty quick. So he probably doesn't have an actual nerve except, but anyway, you get the idea. We can make things a lot quicker than what is traditionally expected, but nerves still take time to heal, right?
Not everybody's different, too.
And everybody's different.
Yeah,
Exactly. Yeah. Everybody's different, but the healing process is the same.
Right.
And we have to leverage that with the technology that we're utilizing. Insurance coverage, what do you think?
Really?
Just to be honest with you, it's going to be out of pocket. Just a straight and shooters. We're not trying to hide anything. Just letting you know up front how that's going to be. That being said, we will provide code, super bill, whatever we can do to support you in that. There may be certain coverages, but just to let you know, the lion's share, if not all of it, was going to be out of pocket. Okay? I wish it were different, but the reason that is Medicare makes the rules right now. And we get the question so often, I put a little piece in the back of your folder, Medicare's guidelines. I didn't write them, and they're probably not changing in my lifetime or my kid's lifetime, right? And they basically say any care plan designed to make your quality of life better is not medically necessary.
Because other health insurance the same way.
They typically follow, right, yeah, so they typically follow Medicare's
yeah.
lead, and they're gonna, scrimp and whatever they can to deny, yeah. So bottom line is, some services may be covered in that, but usually the equipment, the things you need for home care that actually really does a lot of the job, those are typically going to be out of pocket.
Yeah, common sense doesn't exist in insurance.
Yeah, right, exactly. Yeah.
So
Well, if you make people better, they can't earn the money.
Yeah.
Very, very true.
Exactly.
Yeah.
So what's the cost of the home care? I mean, as far as the
Yeah.
equipment.
Great question. So yeah, to cover that, what we don't do is sell like one piece here and there. We're not a retail thing. We do a doctor supervised program, and we are going like, what are your goals? What are the results we want to get? But to answer that specifically, we're looking at like monthly payments. You can get in the range of probably $400 or $500 a month, and can go up from there. And then that all depends on what's going on. I'm kind of shooting averages right now. Okay, and I'm like, I don't know, Leslie can probably tell you better than I can on that one. She handles all that, but I'm just kind of giving you ballparks.
My car's on my speed up.
Good, you right? Yeah. Yeah. Well, let me ask you this, like, from a neuropathy perspective, without these options, like, what are the tools? Drugs, medication, like, man, we could probably charge $1 million for this if we're in a hospital system, right? But we can't get anywhere close to that, even though it's worth your life getting back, right? Like, how do you put a price tag on that? Anyway, but my point is, if I couldn't give you $100,000 cash right now to take your foot, and they're going to charge you $5 to take a toe off. Anyway, we try to make, my bottom line though is, we're going to find a way, if we can help you, we're going to find a way to make it happen. Okay, within whatever funds are available or you need to make available, we're going to work with something.
Does the VA cover anything?
Man, I wish, Stan. My dad was like, man, I have tried. No.
Okay.
I wish they did. I really wish they did. There's a lot of people that need this, and the VA could be a big supporter, but they don't. My promise to you is this, so if we're unable to help, I'm going to get you in the hands of somebody that can. All right? Like, we're not going to string you along and say, oh, whatever. Like, that's not how we do things. We treat you like a normal human being with respect and dignity and honor, right? So we're going to get you help either way. Is everybody by sure what our next steps look like? Can we go through that? Is that right? So we have a 2-day process. We have our information day, and then we have our report day. Information day, we go through a consultation. What are your goals? What are your struggles? How did you get where you are? All that kind of good information. Then we do our comprehensive neurological testing where we look at vital signs, all the basics. We do our balance and coordination testing where we actually measure you on a force plate to see what your fall risk is. We can measure that and see how that changes. Muscle strength testing, similar to what we did for Ron, how are these things functioning and firing.
Okay. Thanks.
Sure.
And then our sensory exam, where we actually measure how much loss there is in the finger extremities. Okay, in other words, have you reached that 85% point of no return yet or not? Does that make sense? So we kind of gather all that information. We do thermal diagnostics. What are the good colors?
Green.
Red and white are the good ones? Yeah.
Yeah.
And we do a microcirculation test. A lot of times people come out like, oh, I had the Doppler thing on my feet and they did the deal and they said my arteries are fine. Great news, but they're not looking at microcirculation. They're looking at the big highways. So like when the snow comes, they plow the big roads first. And then the micro guy, like your neighborhood streets are the last ones that get touched, right? The same thing with your blood flow. If the capillaries are dying off, that's the back streets. But that's where you actually transact nutrients to the nerve. Anyway, we commonly see a type 3, type 4. When you're at a 5, that's when cardiology gets involved, and I'm referring you to the cardiologist. Okay, we've saved several heart attacks. Yeah, Ron, my pleasure.
Yeah.
Hope everything's okay with your family situation. Yeah.
Yes.
We'll be in touch. So bottom line here is with the diet and the physics, we can literally reverse the junk in the arteries. So that's one of the big things we play with on that too. That's all the imaging and advanced diagnostics on one slide. Then I get together with the team. We go, can we help this person get their goals back? What do they want to do? Is that realistic? How do we make that happen? Put together a plan. On day 2, you're going to get a graph like this. Let's know, are you in acute nerve damage, moderate, severe, or permanent? Where are we at? What do we need to do to get it better? And go over your plan aimed at reversing this stuff. And then we go over any financial options at that point as well. Questions on process? Pretty straightforward. Get information, figure it out, put together a plan, right? It's kind of that simple. Everything on one slide. Value for that's $875. Little side note, I had a ultrasound done for my voice a couple months ago. One test, never saw a doctor. How much was that?
$5,000.
It was about $1,000 for one test. So I'd like to think the value we're providing with that is way more than that. But with all that in mind, here's what I do know. Insurance isn't covering it, so I'm not going to be charging that to you guys. Okay, you spent some time with us on a gorgeous Tuesday. So to say thank you for that one, we're going to do a couple things. One is people that take action are the ones that win. You take this information, go home and sit on it, guess what happens? Nothing happens. So I want to encourage you in that direction. So on day 2, we're going to give you the treatment, a full treatment with that too. Once we know which one will be best suited for you, we're actually going to give you a treatment for that. The other thing I want to give you are 25 anti-inflammatory food recipes you can start using right now. Would that be helpful for you guys?
Yeah.
So I want to make sure that you guys get that in your hands as well. So those are our gifts for you guys. Everything added, there's $945. We're doing everything today for $197. So I'd like to think that's pretty fair. We can't do this for everybody, obviously, but realizing you guys spent time with us, we want to share that opportunity with you guys. If that makes sense, $197 for everything. Is that a good idea?
Yep.
Awesome. Here's how you take advantage of that. If you want to move forward, there are some sticky notes on the back window. They have times and dates on them. Select the one that works best for you. You'll take that, put your name on it, take that to Erin at the desk. She'll collect the $197. Hold your spot, get all the information you need for your exam, and we'll get rolling. Kind of that straightforward and simple. Okay? Any questions on how to take advantage of that exam option?
If I have to leave, can I take a sticky and then call. I have to take my dog up at doggy daycare.
Awesome. Yeah, absolutely. Yeah, I would say, yeah, if you know what time and date that works for you,
I have to look at it.
yeah, if you need to look check your calendar, we're not like, you can only get this right now. But I can't promise you ideal time, so
Right, yeah.
that is for
Yeah, I
today.
understand.
But that being said, yeah, if you need to go and check the calendar, call us back today. I was at the seminar. I would say this: take a picture of me now. We believe you, wouldn't know you, but it's like, hey, I was here. See, and that's your little. That'll be your ticket for the 197. I'm serious. Yeah, we'll do like a goofy little. Yeah.
Here you go.
Good. Okay. So then, yeah, if you need to check calendar, Kathy, feel
Yeah,
free.
well, it's more getting the dog,
Just
and
the
then,
delay
Yeah.
over time.
Yeah, and then we'll call Leslie. We'll figure all that out for you.
yeah.
Otherwise, I think that's about all I got today. Yeah, we talked about that one. From the bottom of my heart, thanks for being here. You learned something valuable, I hope.
Yes.
Saw some amazing things with Ron. That was pretty amazing.
Very amazing.
Yeah. And look forward to seeing you guys soon. If not, blessings from the bottom of my heart. Okay? All right. Have a great evening.
Thank you.
You're welcome.
If you think one of the things that you do want to have that appointment, just put your name, phone number, date of birth on there and leave it for Aaron.
Who scheduled this for you?
We can't hold it for
Oh, I
you
did.
tonight, like, we need to go ahead and put it on the
Yeah,
schedule,
yeah,
otherwise
yeah.
someone calls you
I would
tomorrow
assume
and
I
it's-
would be a scheduled for this.
Just don't want you to lose it.
For this workshop today?
Yeah.
This one, yeah.
No.
Yeah, those are.
That'd be amazing.
Where it came
For
from.
another day.
Oh, okay. Well, you were supposed to be here to see it, Stan. That's all I know. Yeah. Yeah,
I'm
man.
just surprised. I just figured it was just another program that the VA is.
Oh,
Okay,
No.
and then we can work with.
tell me you
I
should
was-
put on
I
the
was-
course.
Okay, I just gotta get my dog.
My-
All right,
my-
You're welcome.
My Agent Orange neuropathy is considered for Agent Orange.
Yeah, right.
Yeah.
I will pull every string I possibly can, but I can't promise you're gonna pick it up as much as I would love that. I will.
Maybe I'll check.
Yeah.
Maybe I'll check with
But I mean,
the
Agent Orange one's close to my heart, buddy. So like, let's figure this thing out. You know?
Making an appointment.
I haven't lost anybody.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Don't want you to lose that.
Man,
Yeah.
Stan, thanks for your service. Thank you. Yeah. Right?
So they should still be here, but if those don't work, then just call and we'll try to work.
A pleasure, man.
And for you, it just might be a little longer before you can get in.
We're gonna be.
Yeah,
Just go ahead and pay it.
and again, I mean, you can.
You can do it Friday?
If I'm not
Sure.
here, and
Yeah,
I contact to help you.
we're not seeing beaches Friday, but yeah, you're gonna call us with a card on work is fine too. Do that. Leslie, Christopher wants to pick a time, but he's gonna pay us on Friday.
Okay.
So just so we're aware of that when he gets.
Yeah.
We just like, or we can even send you a link if that'd be helpful. Like, and just pay it online that way.
Yeah,
Is that easy?
Erin could just take all your
Yeah.
information, get you in the system,
Yeah.
and then we can take care of it.
Yeah. We'll make it easy.
Yeah.
Yeah. Glad you're here.
Yes, because I can't imagine he's gonna say the one and not the other.
Hey, Doc, we want that too. Can we pay Friday?
Pay Friday?
Yeah,
Yeah, we'll make it easy.
yeah.
That's fine, no problem.
Yeah.
We
if
could
you
talk-
do it
we
for you,
definitely
take
want-
it, you know,
we
your
definitely want
initial,
something.
yeah,
So,
you'll get your name and your
If
number.
we can
and
work that
your
out
information.
this Friday.
So we can hold the appointment for you.
We'll get some beaches, that's it.
Otherwise,
Otherwise, we just calls it, what we do is even send it, and you just pay online that way. Easy peasy. Yeah. Yeah, man.
Yeah, she will bug you because she wants to get better. And we're tired of all the bull crap.
Right.
We are.
Yeah. Yeah, right here to the.
Take care to your left.
Oh, thank you.
Sure.
yeah, we're still live over here. So if you're a homie, want to take advantage of that, it's 717-285-0001. Give us a ring. We'll help you out. Have a great evening.